All right, we're going to make a weird kind of growly Skrillex style bass using Serum 2's Spectral Oscillator. Cool, so we're going to make the sound. So the core of the sound is using the Spectral Oscillator in Serum 2. So we're going to add, or select even, the Spectral Oscillator. Now the Spectral Oscillator works by using a sample. There will be another video, hopefully, at some point on my channel about the Spectral Oscillator. So I'm not going to tell you too much about it here. We're going to start with grabbing a sound to use. I'm going to use this bass sound here. It sounds like this. Drag and drop that into my preset, and there we go. We have this little sound. So this is a complicated sound. It sounds weird, but it is a complicated sound. So we're going to start by fiddling with the Spectral Oscillator here. I'm going to actually cut out a lot of the bass. Probably about there. I'm going to change the scan rate from where it's at the moment to about 68-ish. And we're not going to use one shot, we're going to use forward loop. And then I'm going to reduce the size of this loop point to about here. And then I'm actually going to bring it back slightly because right now it's quite smooth. But I want it to actually be a little bit jarring. So I'm going to click in the middle, pull the entire thing. I'm going to use LFO2 and map it to our scan, and then bring this back by about -10%, and then set LFO1 to be a ramp down like that. Cool, I'm going to increase the unison to 2 so that we get left and right. So I want this loop point to go left so it doesn't just start at the very beginning. So I need to work out how to do that. Basically what I want to do is this loop point right now is hitting up against the edge of the waveform here. And what I actually want it to do is go like slightly back. It's a little bit hard to explain, but you'll see what happens, watch. We're missing the like dunk, 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 dunk thing that we need. This is because it's kind of smoothly looping here. What we can do is actually flip this loop point around. So if we drag the front and put it out to the back, we've now kind of reversed this, and now I can push this beyond the start. See? So before we get this, and then if I flip it and then push it, and that gives us the kind of transient that we're looking for from this sound. Next, we're going to add the sub oscillator. Just run it through main and then pull this down by 1 octave. So now the sound of the sub is out of tune with this. I'm going to keep the sub as is, but we're going to tune the semitones of this oscillator instead. So +8 is where we want to be. So we're already pretty close. The final thing that we need to do is add some effects. Hit the FX tab, and this is going to be, again, a little complicated, a little bit messy. So we're going to start adding some distortion. And on tube mode, set it to about 50%-ish. Then we're going to add a convolve, and convolve is where a lot of the sound sort of comes from. We're going to put it to the woody setting. There we go, not woodpecker. We don't want a pecker, we want just the woody. Set that to about 50% as well. That gives it the kind of throaty sound. Then we're going to add a equalizer to get rid of some of the kind of muddiness. That's going to be around 320-ish. Probably about here. Duck that down. That bit we're getting rid of. Then going to add a bit more distortion, this time in the form of hard clip. Drive all the way up. Next is another equalizer. We're going to use this one to grab, again, a little bit of mud around the 200-ish area. about here. Ugh, yeah, duck that down. And then just a little tad around 3000-ish, like a couple dB. Then I'm gonna add some OTT-like compression. Set this to multiband, around 19-ish, about there. 4:1, blah, 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 everything's the same. But we're not gonna have the mix all the way up, we're gonna bring it slowly up. Because that's too much. We're just gonna do it to about there-ish. And then one final equalizer to reduce just a little bit more of the mud around here. All right, so this is our sound. All that's left to do is use this in a beat.